Good morning. It is May 4th, 2022. So may the 4th be with you and also with you. So uh it's funny. I saw a meme somewhere relating to May the 4th. Or maybe it was just May the Force be with you. It's a Star Wars thing. And it said something about being having grown up Catholic, that every time you hear "May the Force be with you," automatically in your brain you want to go, "and also with you." Um, and having grown up Episcopalian and having gone to Catholic school, I totally identify with that. Um, so we could combine a couple different ones. We could go, "May the 4th be with you," and then others respond, "So say we all." I like that one a little bit better. Take it out of the church and make it more sci-fi, or put it into the church of sci-fi. So this morning, Monday I was talking. Well, was yesterday Monday? No, yesterday was Tuesday. Today is Wednesday. So I went on a walk yesterday. Nice weather. Today's going to be gorgeous. Today's out here is going to be 70 degrees, sunny. I'm looking forward to it. In fact, I wanted to stream outside, and I went outside, and even though the sun's out, it is still cold. So that is why I'm inside. I could have put a coat on, but it is what it is. So I got a phone call. So part of my martial arts promotion, or promoting the school, I decided to send out postcards. Kind of cliche, but who knows? So I figured as Dan Anderson always says, the only person who knows you're there is you. Even though you're in the strip mall, people walking by, the only people who really know who you're the only one who really knows that you're there. So my goal was to let people know that I was in the area. So I used Postcard Mania. At the suggestion of Dan. He had, because I wanted to do postcards, asked him if he had ever done it and what company he used. He suggested Postcard Mania because he had good results from that. So I spent a lot of money. I actually signed up for their Everywhere business plan. So they did, and not the full thing, because but advertising on Google and Facebook, as well as what do you call it? As well as sending out the postcards. So my idea was, my goal for the promotion was to just get enough people in to be able to pay the rent. That was my only goal. I didn't need to have 100 people sign up, but I just wanted enough people to come and sign up so I could at least pay the rent. That was my goal with this. So when you sign up, you essentially, you're signing up for at least the way he sold it to me was 3 months worth of postcards. And because my business kind of sits right in the middle of 2 zip codes, I decided, I'll do 1,000 in one zip code and 1,000 in another zip code. And we were targeting families that had, kids between 6 and 14. Okay. So, and of course, there's all these, there's no guarantee that it'll work. Of course, they're always trying to upsell you and on all this other stuff. But the addresses that the postcards would go out to were also connected to email addresses and Facebook accounts. So when people got on, they would constantly see, this information. So the third emailing, or the third mailing, the third postcard mailing, will actually go out in a couple days. And there are some statistics when it comes to advertising. About 1% of the people are going to sign up on the first contact. And it really, of course, the more contacts, the more times they see you and, see your brand or whatever in their face, is about 7, 8, 9 times when they actually start to reach out. And so, but of course from 1% on the first contact to, a little bit more. So I know the marketing statistics. I'm not going to share how much I spent, because in my eyes, I spent too much. Plus I don't like dealing with the company. So it was, they, as part of the service, they're like, okay, well, people are going to be going to your website. So they're like, yeah, your website sucks. We can build you a website, but that'll cost you more money. And I'm like, no, I'll, what can I do to build up the website to, to make it more palatable? And so they, their website analyst, gave me a list of suggestions. And then based on the template, because a lot of stuff, it's like I'd have to completely rebuild my website. So I'm like, okay, well, given the parameters, I'm going to try and put together what they said. And then about a week later, I get another email saying, hey, did you make those changes? And I was like, yeah, actually I did. And the person comes back, is like, yeah, well, it's not good enough, but we can make it better. We can build you a website, and this is how much it will cost. Right. Okay. So, but of course, with the postcards, they're not promising any returns. This is just a service, they're, here's the statistics. We're not promising anything. So out of, so far, all the mailings that have gone out, because they actually give you access. They give you access to a dashboard. So, they give you a tracking QR code. They give you a tracking telephone number, so people can call you. And what's really cool is this person, it actually recorded the conversation. That's creepy. Handy from a business standpoint, but kind of creepy. I figured it would just capture who called. No, they captured, yeah. So from a marketing standpoint of being able to capture that data, that's very helpful, but I don't know, still creepy on the same time. I've gotten one phone call. Did I mention that? Only one out of all of it. Now, from the Facebook ads and the Google ads that they've put up, and I let them do all the design, because they're like, we have design, it's like, okay, well, this is, I gave my input, they created this, and they said, this is going to get you a good return. So, I had my rep reach out and was like, hey, just want to see how things were going. I checked on your numbers. They're a little bit lower than normal. You need a new website. So basically, This is what they're telling me. I'm not getting sales because I don't have a good website, even though there is a telephone number on there. And honestly, there really hasn't been a lot of clicks. There's been tons of impressions, not a lot of clicks. So, so yeah, it's, and then of course, I get marketing. I get sending out the emails. Because but there's gotta be a limit. If you're a customer of this business, hey Bill, how you doing? I'm just chatting about my my lack of impression. Let's see, how would I say that? I am not impressed with a company that I'm dealing with right now. Not really results wise. Yes. And also with you. Oh, wait. No, I'm sorry. So say we all. Forgot what I was going to say. So if you're running a business or you have customers, you can't just blindly send out random emails like they're new customers or that they've done business with you before, but they're not actively doing business with you. And this just could be, me just being annoyed that I have this company that I'm actively doing business with. When the contract is done, I am no longer doing business with them again. I'm done. But they're sending me emails like I've never done business with them. Like they're sending me emails. It's almost okay. So if you've seen the movie Dave with Kevin Kline and Sigourney Weaver, there's a scene where they're in the office with the cabinet, and there was a bill that was struck down. It was this bill. It's like, okay, well, how much money do we need to do? It's like $650 million or something like that. So he goes around the room, and there's this one where he's like, there was an ad campaign for American vehicles. And so he says, so what you're saying is that we're going to create an ad campaign. We're going to spend however many millions of dollars on an ad campaign to make somebody feel good about a car they already bought. That's kind of how I feel with this. I am already using your services. No matter how I feel about the services, don't try and sell me on the services. It's not going to make me feel any better. Or, well, actually, it's actually making me feel worse. I'm actually getting annoyed by the services or by these constant emails. And then, of course, that it's my fault that my email or that my website sucks. Oh, it sucks because they can do a better job. That's really what it is. I get compliments all the time about my website. Looks professional. It's clean. Yeah. So I don't know. That's just kind of me ranting. But then that also feeds into, I got to share this. You know what? I haven't had any of my tea. Maybe I would calm down if I actually had some of my tea. So that's good. So when I first opened a school, or when I first opened my school, I had a fellow martial artist who is he is a successful school owner. I think he owns 2 or 3 schools. Doing very well. Made it through the pandemic. I don't think he was hit as hard as we were in the Northwest, Pacific Northwest, when it came to restrictions, but still, he made it through. Both or 3 out of however many schools, they're all still running, and he's making money. He's been doing it for years. Impressive. He runs it old school. And that if it works for him and he's, that's fine. So he calls me or messages me. I can't remember which one. And he says, hey, by the way, I use a billing company, which is something I don't want to do, but I let him talk. He says, I use a billing company and I gave him your telephone number and so, they've done me well. They've treated me right. They're a great company. And so I gave my rep your number. So he'll be reaching out to you because, I want you to succeed. Cool. I appreciate it. In fact, I actually genuinely appreciate all of the suggestions I get, except for the ones where it's like, you must do this. Okay. And there's actually some things that I've done like that. Then I'm like, dude, that I don't know why I didn't even think of that. That's yeah. So, but anyway, so I get a call from this company and I don't even know what, there's several different billing companies out there. And so, he calls, he says, oh, so-and-so gave me your number and, congratulations on the new school. And this is what we can do. And it's all kind of the old school billing where I sell you on a service, you're stuck into a contract and that's it. Like, and, I can be like, oh yeah, no, if you're having billing problems, you got to talk to these people. So I'm not the bad guy. They're the bad guy. I'm paying them to be the bad guy. And so, and of course they do all these other things too. Website, postcard. It's like one-stop shopping advertising for martial arts schools. So, so I tell the guy, I say, well, I already have my own billing system. It's built into my website. Software I already use. I'm happy with it. And for right now, thank you. Let me save your name and number. If I change my mind in the future, if I want to go a different route, I'll give you a call. But what you have planned, what you want to serve me, what you want to offer me, that's just not something that I'm interested in right now. I was very polite. I wasn't like, no, I was very polite. And so then I start getting a barrage of messages from him of, well, your website sucks. And he actually said that your website sucks, and then tries to tell me that he can make it better. Okay. So you're going to tell me that my website sucks, like actually tells me it sucks, not be like, oh, it's not like Shine Me On where it's like, oh, it looks pretty good, but we could do this and we could do that and try and, no, he just says your website sucks. I can make it better. No, that's not going to get you any sales. I'm sorry. I don't know. Yeah. The life and times of a martial arts school owner dealing with people who want to sell him services, but hey, your shit sucks. We can make it better. I tell you. So that's kind of my little rant. And Bill, I think you're the only one watching right now. So if anybody rewatches it, it's okay. Let's see. Star Trek. I watched all of Future's End. So I saw the first one, watched the second part yesterday, and it's an enjoyable story. I think it's an interesting story. Of course, it deals with time travel, but then what I don't get at the end, is I think it's Captain Braxton is that they run into. So the whole thing starts out with Captain Braxton coming back in time, saying that Voyager, you created whatever issue, and to save my future, I'm going to destroy you. And so in this issue, they end up going through a time rift, end up in 1996. They find out why, because this one hippie dude finds Braxton's ship and basically becomes a Bill Gates or Steve Jobs kind of dude, and then tries to take the time ship into the future to steal more tech. The Voyager destroys the time ship with him in it, and then all of a sudden Captain Braxton shows up. Now they actually meet Captain Braxton in the past. He's an old homeless dude, old crazy homeless dude. Paramount Plus. It's on Paramount Plus. That's what I'm watching on. I actually don't own any of the Voyager episodes, so I'm actually watching it on a streaming service. So Paramount Plus, previously CBS All Access. So, and then, but then Braxton shows up and he says, "Oh, hey, we noticed a change in the time difference, or change in the timeline, and I'm here to bring you back to the present." And of course, shamelessly, Janeway's like, "Oh, hey, can you not put us back in the Delta Quadrant? Can you put us back in the Alpha Quadrant? That would really help us. We're like 70,000 light years away." And he's like, "Nope, just got to restore the timeline. You're on your own." But here's the thing, is that he did not remember meeting any of them. Didn't remember meeting any of them. So it's like, well, I don't remember that timeline. So did they, I don't, how did they, this is the problem with time travel. And at least that ending, like, I don't know. Is that just on a different time stream? I don't know. That's the one problem I have with the episode, is the very ending and how they take care of the timeline. And also going into Picard, like Picard season 2, we do time travel. And like, how are we've got one episode left tomorrow, one episode left. And so how are they going to tie it up? That's my thing. How are they going to tie all this up? Because it's been this long drawn out. I was talking with Rob about this the other day. It's this long drawn out episode or season where each, it's paced. I didn't really feel it initially, but I can kind of see where Rob's coming from. On the last episode, it was kind of rushed. And so is the final episode, and I don't know how long the final episode is going to be. I mean, it could be an 1.5 hour episode, which would be great for I'm trying to think of timing, pacing. That's it, for pacing. So, but if it's going to be a 45-minute episode, like, is that going to be, are they going to rush it? And is it going to be rushed into a cliffhanger that ends up, it doesn't end up as a cliffhanger for season 3, where we get the entire crew together except for Wesley. I don't know. I mean, I hope they don't do the cliffhanger thing. I really don't. I just, tell the story, season story, and then just go on. So, yeah, so I don't know. And then I saw something else is like, I didn't read the whole article. I just kind of saw a blurb on it about time travel and Star Trek and relating to Picard season 2. And is the Borg that came into on season 1 or on episode 1, is that the Girardi Queen Borg? Because we don't ever see a face. And is that from a different timeline? Like going back to the Voyager, did that just happen on a different timeline, or are they saying that it's all the same time? That's kind of where it kind of gets confused. I think the best Star Trek episode that they ever did when it came to time travel was it was a Next Generation episode, and it was Worf bouncing between times. I think that was the best one, because even in the very end, and I can't remember if I've mentioned this before, but like in the episode, basically it was the final episode of Next Generation, where you had Picard bouncing between 3 different timelines, and this little thing in space that Q was like, oh, you got to deal with this. It was they didn't, I see that they didn't do it right, because in the past they come upon this thing that they doing like a little sensor sweep on, and then in the future they go to the same spot and it's just smaller because it gets bigger and bigger and bigger going to the past. So, but what should have happened is they should have because whatever sensor thing that they did, that was the problem. They were creating this issue. So when they went, there was nothing there until they started doing the little sensor thing, and then it started. But that's not how it should have been. It should have been this little thing, and then when they got there, they do the little sensor thing. I know this sounds really technical. And then it should have disappeared. Because if it's going from that point in time backwards, from that first connection, it should have disappeared. So, I don't know. Star Trek and time travel. But I will say, no matter what, I'm so far, I really, really, really like season 2. So we'll see how that goes. Let's see. For today's docket, we have on our Star Trek, we have episode called Warlord, which I already watched, and Q and the Gray, which is another Q episode. I think this one is the one where Q is he tries to woo and do Captain Janeway. Warlord, that was okay. I mean, it was a Kes episode. I don't like Kes. Yeah, I don't like Kes. I don't like Neelix. Yeah. Okay. So it's a beautiful day today. Should I go for a walk? I went for a walk yesterday. I hurt. All of this different working out that I do, that, I've been a lot more active teaching regular classes, all that kind of stuff. And I was like, it was a gorgeous day yesterday. I'm going to go for a walk. And my hips hurt. Like, I think I overwalked. So I would like to enjoy the day. It's going to be 70 degrees today. I've got some other stuff, school stuff I need to do, but just to go out there, go for a walk, kind of, do I do it and just kind of work through the pain, or do I give myself a day off because it's going to rain for the next like 5 days? So I don't know. But I have 29 days until I turn 50, and we have one more day until Strange New Worlds and the season finale of Picard season 2. So my plan for tomorrow, and got lots of seminars coming up. I always plug those. I'm towards the end of my tea, so I'll make that quick. But plan for tomorrow, we're going to talk about Survivor. So, which is also on CBS All Access, but it also gets shown live. So if you're watching Survivor season 42, I applied for Survivor long ago, a couple different times, long ago. And then I applied for Survivor recently. And I think it was the line of, don't do meth. I think that probably was the killer of just me not being an interesting person. Because like Gary Vaynerchuk, he's go on social media, start stuff, do whatever he says, but always remember, your shit may not be interesting. So I might just not be an interesting person. That's what it is. That's my story. I'm sticking to it. Anyway, I was like, I'm just going to apply every year to Survivor until I get on, because I don't care if it's 39 days. I don't care if they're doing the 26 days. Hopefully season 40, 43 and 44 are not the short seasons, but we'll see kind of where it goes now. But I'm still a big Survivor fan, and I would just love to be on Survivor, just to say that I was on Survivor. Oh, and to win. I mean, you got to be on Survivor to win. That's the only reason to go. But of course, I'm not going to put in for it, because really there is especially when there was the 39 day, season, then there's travel and all that kind of stuff. So it was like a 46-day commitment. Now, season 41 and 42 were filmed at not at the height, but kind of in the latter half of what would be considered the pandemic. So there was still a 46 day commitment, but they also had to quarantine for 2 weeks as well. So I don't know if there's going to be still going to be doing the quarantines, but I can't just leave my school for 46 days. Like, that would be, especially in its infancy. So my goal of putting in for Survivor, not right now, maybe in a couple of years, when definitely it's paying the bills, and definitely when I have somebody who can take over for me for a month while I go play on a desert island in Fiji, because that would be so freaking amazing. Yeah, so we'll talk about Survivor, because Survivor's airs tonight. On the let's see. So now, technically, Picard season 2, or as finale season 2, and Strange New Worlds will air tomorrow. They'll be available in the morning like they always are. I usually watch Picard with the family, so I usually watch it Thursday night after I get home from the school. Don't know about Strange New Worlds. I just might watch that shit the minute I see it available, and then watch it with the family, because I'll probably watch the episode several times. I'm just saying. So we will see what we talk about tomorrow as for Star Trek new stuff. I encourage people to watch it because I don't want people to not watch because I'm giving spoilers. So, all right. All right, Bill. Thank you for tuning in. And for those watching afterwards, thank you for watching all the way through. And if you haven't subscribed, do so. Subscribe, follow, social media, Sensei Mish on Instagram, TikTok, all that kind of stuff, YouTube. And then if you're friends with me on Facebook, you can always friend me. I'm open to friends, and I don't care what your political beliefs are, what martial arts style you learn or teach or whatever. I don't know. I'm starting to babble. Okay. Anyway, may the 4th be with you. I will not be watching Star Wars today, which I usually do. I might watch a Star Wars movie today just because it's the 4th. But because season 2 of Picard is ending, I might just binge watch season 2. So I'm just in the know. But until then, until tomorrow, may the 4th be with you. And so say we all. Yes, good. So say we all. Very good. And then also live long and prosper.